Once upon a time, there was an emperor who loved stories. He lived on an island with a huge library that you could see for miles around. Every year, he held a huge storytelling festival on the island, and people would come from all over the kingdom to hear the stories. The emperor had 3 daughters, Louise, Daisy and Quinn, and he used to read them bedtime stories every night.
One day, a horrible man arrived, demanded to be the new emperor. He brought with him a huge army which he used to overthrow the emperor and take the castle for himself. The new emperor hated stories. He had all the books in the land taken away and locked up in a horrible swamp.
Without stories, all the people in the kingdom forgot how to hope and so fell into a deep sadness.
Only the old emperor's 3 daughters, whose hearts were still full of stories, remembered how to dream. Seeing the sadness around them, they decided to save the kingdom.
So one day, Louise, Daisy and Quinn set out to go and find the stolen books. Their friend Scotty missed stories more than anyone, so he joined them to help. They set out across the sea and came to the city where the fairies and goblins lived. The fairies and goblins were at war because they had no stories to remind them how to live together in peace. Louise told the fairies and goblins a story she remembered about the bad things that happen when people fight, and peace was restored to the city.
We're looking for the stories.
Go this way, but beware of the evil dragon that lives in the mountains.
The 4 children travelled across the kingdom until they reached the mountains. It was getting very cold and dark, so they went into a cave for shelter. No sooner had they got inside when a dragon appeared. The children were terrified. Then Daisy noticed the dragon was yawning.
I don't think he's evil, I think he's just tired.
So Daisy told the dragon her favourite bedtime story, and he started to drift off to sleep. Daisy hadn't heard the story herself in so long that she couldn't remember the ending. Luckily, the dragon was already starting to snore. We're looking for the stories, said Daisy.
Find the red door in the forest,
replied the sleepy dragon.
The children continued on their journey until they reached the forest of doors. They made their way through it until they came to a tree with a bright red door. The door had no keyhole, but on it was written a riddle.
I'm easy to pick up, but hard to put down. I'm full of words, but never speak. What am I?
Chocolate? What? No, a baby?
No, I know, a book.
The door swung open, and on the other side there was a horrible swamp. In the middle of the swamp there was a cage full of books, shut with a huge lock.
The stories are the key.
But all the stories in the kingdom are locked inside.
We can't open it.
Then Louise had an idea.
Scotty, what have you been writing in your notebook?
I've been writing everything that's happened to us.
That's our story. We can use that.
Scotty's story opened the door and released the books, which flew back to their homes all over the kingdom.
Just then, the children heard huge wings flapping in the sky. I have to know the ending to the bedtime story.
If you help us, we'll tell you the ending.
The dragon flew the children back to the island where the new emperor was furious about the return of the books. With the dragon's help, they drove the new emperor and his army away, and the old emperor took back the throne. The Emperor read the bedtime story to everyone in the kingdom, and their lives were full of stories once more. The dragon never had trouble sleeping again, and they all lived happily ever after.